Network of awareness makes your brain coherent. One of the fastest growing podcasts. You can hear it 24/7. You got listeners out in London, informationalists in Paris. The echo spreading out, no parrot. Just dissect, digest, and share it. The righteous rhymes hit the spirit. Click 90 times, it won't perish. Cause y'all's the mind ain't no fairy tale like the belly our parents. It's time to rise, don't get weary. United minds, it's apparent. Download every single errand, but most ain't fit to catch it, even if they were Larry. Interviews, the interludes, they enter you, taking you on a journey like no other. It places you in a state of awareness. It's your fault if you hate the truth, cause Yahweh's on his way, my brother. Better change your views. All praise to Yah.
Peace and greetings. Presenting the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, providing in-depth information on society and culture in America and abroad, bringing you truth messages of inspiration, keen insight, reputable interviews, and so much more. So now, for the truth you've been waiting for, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast, Aura, the informationalist.
Peace and greetings, people. This is Or the Informationalist. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays here on the live broadcast every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know, we always do great shows on Wisdom Wednesdays because we always got a lot to learn. And it's always good to gain some wisdom out of what we do and this life that we're living, right? So we got a great show today. It is Wednesday, May 18th. It's approximately 7:04 p.m. I want to welcome all the people that are going to be trickling in on the live chat room on Spreaker.com. And if you don't know, you can listen to my shows live on Spreaker. For anybody that downloads the show, all you got to do is set up a profile with your name and email, and then Spreaker will notify you through your email when my shows go live. But to make it easy for y'all, I go live 5 days a week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, rain or shine. And if I don't get to go live, then you'll get a pre-recorded episode that will air at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it was a hot one today in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, where I reside and I broadcast out of. And we got a lot of things to talk about in regards to today's episode. It's season 4, episode 3, self-awareness. All right? So we're going to talk about self-awareness on the Network of Awareness. And I hope that you brothers and sisters can tune into this or will download this show, because there's going to be a lot of gems that I'm going to be dropping here about self-awareness. It's something that, when it comes to being by myself, it's something that I've become very accustomed to. And It's been very rewarding, to say the least. All praise to the Most High for that. So to all the brothers and sisters that are going to be listening, all the positive people, we got so much to discuss. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a song because I noticed there's nobody in the chat room yet. So I'm going to give some people some time. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. Sometimes people are a little sluggish on hump day. So happy hump day. Happy Wisdom Wednesdays. And welcome to the Network of Awareness. And I'll be right back.
Nothing like this. Stage Cream Radio.
Tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
Yeah. See what you did to me, made me a better me. Leave them niggas behind. Got no more space in my life. See what you did to me. Made me a better me. Had to leave them niggas behind. No more space in my life. Picture me with the crib by the beach, beautiful wife by me. With the sun living out our dreams when they all down did said watch me. Got to work with a smirk, kept stacking. Brick by brick, I built this shit. Stay consistent, committed and never quit. And kept my distance 6 feet from them niggas. Faking the folded, but I just kept going crazy. The ones supposed to be closest be the ones gossiping behind your back, praying for you to fall, casting demons on you. But Yahweh with me, so I stand tall. Only time you see me fall on my knees to pray. I want you to see all the shit that you did to me. I want you to see me taking off now. See what you did to me, made me a better me. Had to leave them niggas behind. Got no more space in my life. See what you did to me, made me a better me. Had to leave them niggas behind. No more space in my life. See what you did to me, made me a better me. Had to leave them niggas behind. Got no more space in my life. See what you did to me, made me a better me. Had to leave them niggas behind. No more space in my life.
what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
How you doing?
So welcome, brothers and sisters, to the Network of Awareness. Today is Wisdom Wednesdays, as we always do, Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I feel very much alive today. I feel very rejuvenated. I was very tired for the last week or so, and I'm finally getting some adequate rest. Still can use some more rest, but I'm getting some adequate rest, and things are looking on the up and up. The downloads are finally working their way back up to where they used to be in the hundreds. So to all the brothers and sisters that are downloading the show, I want to thank you very much, because we're not where we were, but we're definitely getting closer and closer every day. So I want to thank everybody who's been taking the time out to download the shows. And speaking of that, if you ever fall into a situation where if you're downloading, let's say, too many shows on your phone and you're filling up the memory or your computer, drop it over to one of your external hard drives, or like a Dropbox or an iCloud or whatever, like a OneNote, whatever it is you have where you could store files, store it in that drive to free up some space. Okay. Because I know sometimes, when you're downloading shows, especially somebody like myself that I have over 300 shows, eventually it's going to fill up. So make sure you pass those over to your Google Drive or whatever, so you have them stored, because you never know when the grids are going to shut down or when these systems may shut down, but you can still have the show saved and to be able to listen to offline if they're downloaded. That's the beauty of downloading, is that you have it on file. And also it helps a podcaster get good ratings, right? Because right now I'm ranked pretty high in Canada, and I'm ranked decent in the United States, but of course we can be better, and with time it will. Still a newbie to the podcasting world compared to those that are more seasoned. They have more of that veteran status. But with time, those things will come. And speaking of downloading, if you haven't checked out networkofawareness.com, subscribe. And if you don't want to subscribe, just download from that site, which is very easy. You just click on the episode you want to download and it'll download it for you. You can leave a review on my website. But what I also have is I have a service called Kite Analytics. I have an annual service that I've had for quite some time, and I haven't really been using it. I started using it in season 3, and then I kind of fell off of it because I have so much going on. But with these links, you can leave me a review on Apple or on Podchaser. And I suggest to leave me a review on Apple before Podchaser, because Apple's the more creme de la creme. It's the supposedly be the elite of podcasting when it comes to apps, but Spotify is also up there as well. But what Spotify does is they block a lot of my stuff, a lot of my content, but Apple doesn't. And what I'm going to do, just to let y'all know, right? Let's say, for example, let's see here. I had an episode called Predictive Programming, right? It's a really good episode. It was season 3, episode 11. It's called Predictive Programming Part 1. Really powerful episode. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to put it into the chat room for you brothers and sisters. Okay? Let's check it out. There it goes. So if you click on that link, what you're going to see is going to say start listening. And then it's going to, if you go to start listening, it'll take you to all the different platforms that you can listen to my show from, even directly to my website. It has a whole list. It even has my subscription links that if you want to subscribe to my premium channel. But on the bottom, you see where it says review on Apple Podcasts or review on Podchaser. So the way it works is it has the 5-star rating. You leave it as that, right? Because a brother can rather have 5 stars, but if you want to give me less, it's all fine. You put the title. You put a title in. It could be anything you want. It could be a title to a phrase that you want to leave. And then in the second box where it says review, that's where you type in your review. You could say great show, Aura. You know, this show gave me a lot of great substance, whatever it is you want to write. Once you write your paragraph, your sentence on the review box, after you filled in the title, then you go over to review on Apple Podcasts. And then if you have Apple Podcasts, it'll open up the application and allow you to complete the review for you to give me a review on Apple Podcasts. Now, if anybody has any issues with that, let me know and I'll go and I'll walk people through it. But just keep in mind that I'm going to start posting these types of links into the next coming show, but also into the description box. So once this show finishes and processes, it takes like 2 or 3 minutes, I'll grab the link like this one that it's posted up here, and I'll post it in the description box so that way you can leave a review on Apple or Podchaser. Or you can leave me a direct review like Sister Danita did in networkofawareness.com. And what happens is I approve it, and then that message that you left as a review will be left there for everybody that goes onto the website to see. So thank you again, Sister Danita, for doing that. And I ask that for those that follow me, if you could do the same. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to do it, and it helps a brother out. And as you know, these shows are for free. So the least I can do is get some help in helping a brother move up in this podcast world, because there's a lot of competition. And the only reason why a lot of these podcasters that are doing well do well, it's not so much that so many of them have these great shows, because I've heard some other people's podcasts and their shows are, a lot of them is on some 2/3 bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, one of the reasons why certain podcasters move up is because they have people interacting with their shows as far as when it comes to reviews and stuff, besides the downloads and all that other good stuff. So that's some updates. Still working on networkofawareness.tv site, as well as so it can be ready to be published on the Roku channel. So that's coming soon. What else? Working on some songs that I'm almost done with, that I'm featuring on. And I also got some solo songs that I'll be putting out eventually, not only on my show, but on shows like The Realist and the Visionary, Yash Karal Worldwide, and also releasing on SoundCloud and Spotify and all that good stuff. But for those that really want to download the music, what we're going to be doing, myself, Take One, and Oxycod, is we're going to have a link in the networkofawareness.tv site where it's going to be a tab. When you click on it, it's going to have all of our songs that people say, hey, where can I find this? It'll be right there, and you can download it. And I think that what we're going to do is we're going to have those songs that are available for download for 99 cents per song. So anybody who wants to support, we'll have that on the site, and you can download any song you want for 99 cents. Also, any other updates I'm thinking about? Okay, yes. Take One has a website now for his podcast. It's called righteousrapacademy.com. So he's still, finalizing it. But I just want to let y'all know that I'm going to ask him tonight to see if it's ready to go. I know it's up and running, but I want to see if he's finished, decorating it with all the things that he wants to put on there. So that's one thing. And then Brother Oxakai, who used to have the Lion's Den podcast on the Network of Awareness, it's now called the Oxakai podcast. And we had to change it only because there's like a gabillion Lion's Den podcasts. So it was hard to find his show and to get it, the proper attention. So now it's called the Oxakai podcast, which is a very unique name. And we're going to be setting up a website for the Oxakai podcast as well. So just wanted to give y'all an update on that. And welcome to all the sisters in the house today, I see. Nice to see this is the first time I think where I've had nothing but women listening in before men came and tuned in, which I'm pretty sure some of them will trickle in. Shout outs to Sister Danita, Mystic Royale, and Sister Nama. Peace and favors to y'all. Shout outs to my Queen Letta. Thank you for joining the show. So today's show is called Self-Awareness. I think this is an important topic to discuss. And as you can see here in the artwork, the wolf is one of my favorite animals. It's an animal that I have a very strong spiritual connection to on multiple levels. Many characteristics that I have are very similar to the characteristics that a wolf has. And one of those is the lone wolf. And what it says is, I'm not afraid of being alone or being the lone wolf. I choose to go solo, honor my instincts, and follow the beat of my own heart. Isn't that the truth? And the reason being is because, back in I think it was in, I'm going to say 2016. Yeah. In 2016, I came to Florida. I believe in July. It's when I first moved out here with my daughter. And I had no friends out here. All I had was family that was scattered. And then, of course, I had my immediate family. It was the first time that I had ever lived in the same place with my immediate family and my siblings, meaning the first time ever after so many decades that I was around since 4 years old, my brother and sister and my father and my mother. Now, obviously, my father and mother have been divorced for many years, but it was the first time where we all lived in the same state. My mother already was living in Florida. My father's been here for several decades. And then my brother had moved here right before I did. And my sister had been living out here for a couple of decades as well. So it was the first time that I got to be in the same vicinity, not in the same city or whatever, but in the same state as my family and be able to have access to seeing them, which was pretty cool in the beginning. But I had no friends. And I was really by myself a lot. But the good thing was that I was already in that conditioning of being able to be by myself and being comfortable with being by myself, which is not an easy thing to do when you're used to being around a lot of people, like I used to be. But even before I moved to Florida, I started, only chilling with certain people. My circles got smaller and smaller throughout the years. And then I started to become a homebody. And the reason why I became a homebody is because I became depressed. And so I dealt with my depression by myself in secret. And when people used to call or ask me how I'm doing, I used to put the smiley face. You know, I used to put on the enthusiasm voice and tell them that everything was great. But it really wasn't. I was going through some shit. I was going through a lot of pain. I was going through a lot of self-doubt. I was going through a lot of introspection. I was feeling not like myself, but I was feeling sorry for myself a lot. And I did a lot of study. You know, I listened to people like Michael Tsarian. I listened to people like Robert Collier and David Icke. And I listened to Yash Kara. I listened to Bob Proctor, Les Brown. I listened to a lot of personal development speakers as well. I read a lot of books during my depression. And I stayed home a lot. Little did I know, though, I was getting to find myself spiritually in my own sorrow and my own depression. And even though some people may say, well, if you're depressed, then you're spiritually weak. Yes and no. It depends on how you deal with your depression. I was dealing with my depression with solitude. And yeah, I was smoking a lot of weed. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a big drinker, but I would drink from time to time. But I was smoking a lot of weed. And there was days where I wouldn't even smoke. I just go into some meditation and just try to find out what the fuck I'm doing here, why I'm here. What is this that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling like life is not worth living? But I wasn't suicidal. I just felt like I was going through this transformation of knowledge, and it put me into a state of depression because I was going deep into the rabbit hole of all the shit that goes on in this world. And that shit almost drove me to insanity. And as the more I dug deep into the rabbit hole, I started feeling really uncomfortable in this world, more than I ever had before when I was of the world. And it did something for me. And being that lone wolf during that time really woke me up. But by the time I came to Florida, I wasn't by myself. I was with my daughter, and I was stressed the fuck out every single day. So much so that when I started my insurance position after 9 months of waiting for my licenses to clear because of the Florida laws and all this bullshit that I dealt with, I was numb by that time. So every time after work, I would go and get a fucking drink. And I mean like a couple of beers just to get myself a nice buzz to come home. And my daughter was driving me insane. But I was by myself. I had no friends. You know, all my friends, my relationship consisted of talking to them periodically on the phone. And they were there for me on the phone, talking to me, giving me some good advice and, you know, just being there for me. But being by myself has become something now where I cherish it. I look forward to it. You know, I embrace it. And I've had a lot of time being by myself, and I've become very comfortable. The difference now is now I'm going through another transitional period where now I've gone from being by myself for so long that now I'm finally in a relationship, which sometimes is kind of surreal when I think about it, right? Because if you haven't been in a relationship for a long time, you have to kind of maneuver in a way that you're not used to, because now you're with somebody. So now that person is a part of your life. So now you have to like live your life differently because you're not by yourself anymore. And it takes a lot of adjusting. And I'm telling you that because I'm experiencing it right now. The good thing is that my adjustment period that I'm going through as we speak is going pretty well. It's not a bad thing, but it is an adjustment. And there's certain things that when you're by yourself for so long, it's almost like you have to relearn some things, and some things you're learning from the jump. Like it's a whole new beginning of learning when it comes to relationships. And I'm talking about intimate relationships with the opposite sex, whether you're male or female or male. So if you're somebody listening to this podcast and you've been alone for a long time and you're now getting into relationships, it's going to be an adjustment period because you've been so conditioned to being by yourself. So when you're by yourself for so long, the only person you have to worry about is yourself, nobody else. And see, my child is grown already. My daughter's an adult. She's been an adult for 3 years now. So I'm truly by myself. So now that I'm not by myself, I'm in a relationship. It takes that adjustment period to try to kind of reacclimate what it's like to spend time with somebody and have somebody occupy your time during, throughout your days. But I'm going to tell you something. Being by myself has been such a good thing because being by myself for so many years and not being in a committed relationship with no women at all, and I mean at all. I had my little flings a couple of years ago, but even after that was over, I wound up staying celibate because I was like, I'm not, in layman's terms, I'm not sticking my pee-pee into any of these women because I'm not going to settle for less than what I truly want spiritually. And the funny thing was that the Most High was always reminding me of that if I'm going to have something meaningful in my life, I'm going to have to get to know myself first. And now, even though I'm not by myself no more, that doesn't mean that I can't take time out to be by myself temporarily for a couple of hours or a day. You know what I'm saying? I think that everybody should do that, whether you're married, whether you're in a relationship, or whatever your situation is. You should always find time to be by yourself. You should always find time to meditate because that's the only way you are going to raise your self-awareness. Self-awareness cannot be raised if you're spending time with people all the time. It ain't going to happen. You're not going to truly get to know yourself if you're always with other people. You have to learn how to be by your motherfucking self. And you have to be content with it. There's a lot of people that struggle with that shit. There's people that can't be by themselves for 5 fucking minutes. And those are usually the people that lack confidence, that are very clingy, that are very always got to have somebody around them. Like a lot of celebrities do, right? They always have an entourage. They always have people with them 24/7. If you watch any documentary of any, music or acting celebrity, they always have some fucking person around them, whether it's the publicist, whether it's their fucking handler. There's always somebody. You never see them by themselves. And that's why most of them, if not all of them, suffer from severe amount of insecurity and anxiety. But when you're by yourself and you get comfortable with being by yourself, you raise your level of awareness. And like the wolf, you can be with the pack, but you can also hold it down by yourself, and you can roam the wilderness by yourself with not a motherfucking problem. And that's how I've been for years now. And it's been my saving grace. All praise to the Most High. Because since I've moved to Florida, I have maybe one friend that I barely see. Actually, I have a couple of friends out here, but I barely see them. And then there's some friends that I made out here that I had to cut off kind of quick, because in my older age, I became more critical of people, but for good reason, because I'm not settling for less than what I want in my life. And sometimes when you start new friendships and you know that somebody's kind of funny, you got to just be like, nah, this ain't going to work. And the problem is there's some of you out there that haven't figured this shit out yet. You still think you need these people that really don't do nothing for your life. Because real true friendship is hard to find. It's just like finding a good man or woman to marry or to be in a relationship with. It's not an easy thing to find in your life. And if you do find it, you better hold on that shit with a fucking ninja grip. Facts. Because if you wind up losing that, you ain't going to get it back again. The Most High ain't going to grace you like that. And I'm so grateful that I've been by myself, people, because being by yourself for for a long. Now, granted, I'm not saying that people should be single as long as I have. I wouldn't suggest that, because my shit lasted over a decade plus. But it is a testament to my discipline. It is a testament, because I could tell you that from my personal experiences, I've had a lot of, let's just say, opportunity thrown my way from females. I've had a lot, but I've turned it away. I didn't even pay attention to it because I knew what they was about. And then the crazy part was that a couple of years ago, when I was interested in certain women, the Most High would block that shit. And it was something that it was like, okay, this ain't happening. This ain't even beginning because it ain't for me. And I had enough wisdom spiritually to listen and pay heed to the signs and be observant of what was actually happening. Because sometimes, we seek certain people out and we think like, oh, I like this person. I think this is going to be cool for me. I want to see what this is about. I think this might be good for me. And then the person might even like you and you think shit's about to pop off and something new and exciting is going to start. And somehow it doesn't happen. I remember one time this woman was rapping to me. She was a business owner of, I think she had like shaving ice truck or whatever. Pretty good product she had. She was very well known in the community. And she was talking to me for a minute. And she was very interested in me. And I was like, all right, I might rock with this shit. We exchanged numbers. I called her up. She texted me back. She's like, oh, I'm so glad you reached out to me. I'm going to call you at 5:00. Crickets. Never got a phone call. Then I called her a couple of times after that. Nothing. And it just didn't make sense to me because I saw the level of enthusiasm that she had when she was getting to know me in conversation. And it just didn't make sense to me. But then I was like, oh shit, this ain't meant to be. This is the Most High having some divine intervention into this. And rightfully so, because, she was vaccinated. So, Most High was looking out for me. But also, too, is that being by yourself, man, it's like, how else are you going to realize the gifts that the Most High has given you if you don't take the proper time and have the proper patience in order to do a self-examination on what those gifts are? Then when you find out what those gifts are, nurturing those gifts, using those gifts on a consistent basis. How will you find out? You know, when I was a little boy being in my room by myself, I realized that I had the gift to write lyrics and poetry. I was writing poetry like crazy because I was digging deep into the spirit, into who I really was, which is the observer. When you start tapping into your observer, that's when you tap into the higher self. That's the true essence of who you are. Not the conditioned, program, physical self whose brain has been altered through the perceptions of the world and of society. The only way you can break from that spiritually is by getting to know yourself. And you always hear me say this, brothers and sisters. The closer you get to understanding who you are and what you're doing here, the closer you get to the Most High. Because the Most High has already specifically, let's just say, downloaded stuff into your DNA. Our DNA strands are connected to Yahweh Elohim. That's a fact. Why you think they're working so hard to fuck all that up? They want to take that genetic structure that the Most High has given you to tap into you so that you could be you and serve the Most High the best way you know how. And now they want to change that. They want to change it into some other shit. And unfortunately, some people have already changed. And I'm going to do a whole special. I'm going to be doing it on my Roku channel. All right. It's going to be called It's going to be called The Tribes of mRNA. Because that's what we have right now. We got tribes of mRNA running around, running amok in this motherfucker. So when I put that special out, if you're a Roku subscriber, you'll get to see that because it's going to be a banger. But why is it they're working so hard? The dark forces, the malevolent forces that roam this planet, that, you know, these principalities, why are they working so hard to change that? Because it really makes you that powerful. It gives you power to understand who you are. Self-awareness is, I think it's mandatory, especially in the days and times that we're living in currently, which I believe, in my personal opinion, we're living in the days of revelations. But to be self-aware now is imperative. It is important. It is paramount. It is absolutely necessary. By all means necessary. Self-awareness is necessary in order for you to navigate through the treacherous waters and lands that now exist in this realm called Earth, this three-dimensional realm to be exact. And while you're in this body, we're stuck here. We're imprisoned into this planet, but it doesn't mean that we cannot start working on the self-awareness that's mandatory in order to get freed from this planet. Because just because you died doesn't mean you leave this place. You can very well get stuck here. And there's a lot of people who have passed away and are stuck here. They're roaming the fucking planet spiritually. I've seen some of them. I don't want to be one of those people. I wanted to, when I leave this body, I leave this fucking place for good. And I go on to the next higher dimension, the next mission spiritually to serve the Most High. Because a lot of people get stuck here because they didn't learn anything while they was here. And it's good to study. It's good to read books and all that. But the most important study is the study of the self, because that's the only way you're going to really understand why you're here in the first place, why the Most High put you here. And it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this episode, because I'm telling you right now, if you're not self-aware these days, you are going to easily be part of the 2/3 of society that's fucking lost, that thinks that voting is important. They think that fucking celebrities don't sell their soul and don't worship Satan. They think that people like Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt and Winona Ryder and freaking Angelina Jolie are the best thing since sliced fucking bread. They think that all these fucking actors are so wonderful and they spend so much time praising them. They think that in order to be successful, you have to go to college. In order to live a real good life here in America, you got to make a lot of money and you got to, climb up the corporate fucking ladder and all that bullshit, all that mundane, everyday nonsense that we've been fed through the fucking demonic propaganda channels that exist here on this planet, and especially in this country. Let's focus on the United Serpents of America. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters around the world that showed the network of awareness love. Really do appreciate y'all. And I know that a lot of y'all going through some shit too, because we all in this together. But let's focus on the United States of America. Look at how all of these different changes are happening in the United States of America, like with inflation, with like the killings and the mass murders and all. I mean, there's just so much shit going on with drugs and fentanyl and opioids and freaking cocaine, heroin, and all these new designer drugs that are coming out that I don't even fucking know the names of. I mean, there's just so much shit going on with sex, with perversion, especially when it comes to our children. There's so much stuff going on with the Alphabet Gang, right? And how they're pushing the Alphabet Gang onto our children earlier and earlier, where the mutants are reading freaking books to our children at 5 years old. And they're all making it seem like it's fucking normal, when the shit is abnormal on steroids. But you see, if you're not self-aware, then all of that shit I just mentioned, you're going to fucking embrace it. You're going to embrace it. And if you don't embrace it, you're going to be stuck so much. Like a lot of people here in America, they're so fucking stuck up. They got their heads so far up their ass that even these fucking diabolical, demonic things that are happening here, they don't even give a shit. All they give a fuck about is making sure that their fucking company or whoever they work for is going to give them a fucking paycheck on fucking Friday or Thursday so they could go out to the club on Saturday. So even if somebody is slowly but surely grooming their kids or whatever, they don't give a fuck, because all they give a fuck about is what they're doing with their leisure time. They want to be entertained. They want to laugh. They want to go watch fucking sports every weekend. They want to do a lot of shit that's fucking unmeaningful for the spirit. And I'm not giving a speech like to say, oh, if you're into these things, I'm better than you. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is I'm fucking well more self-aware than you are. That's a fact. And I don't think we're in a time right now where we should be focusing on fun. Fun. We're not in that fucking time right now. We're some serious shit going on. This is a time to get prepared and aware and be ready to fucking have an unsurmountable faith over fear. And start focusing your time on giving praise to the Most High with your work. And yes, you got to pay the bills. I get it. We all do. But we also have to know who the fuck we are, first and foremost. Because we ain't going to be able to be a lick of shit when the shit does hit the fan for those that we love. You see, you know what I find fun these days? I find fun to be doing the things I love to do, learning, building with righteous brothers and sisters, and spending time with people that I really care about, but not just spending time with them for the fuck of it, but spending meaningful time in learning shit, in being observers of this world, complimenting each other, showing each other, teaching each other. That's fun. But doing stupid shit, unmeaningful shit, it's not fun to me anymore. And I don't think it really ever was. But I was so conditioned into being part of the status quo society that I thought it was what we're supposed to do because everybody else and their mother's fucking doing it. Only to know that I was living a fucking lie the whole time. And I felt it. I just didn't know it. And sometimes when that feeling was strong in me, I fucking beat the shit down. I ignored it. And I went on being a 2/3 type of motherfucker. Doing 2/3 type of shit. What I like to call lost soul situations. But once you're found, once you come into the truth and you come to a certain level of awareness, you can never go back to that shit you used to do. Because if you do, it's going to fuck you up. It's no different than if I was to drink. I'll give y'all an example so you can understand. I'm going to give y'all an analogy so you can get a clear understanding of what the fuck I'm talking about. If you're somebody like myself that hasn't drank soda in years, if I was to drink a Pepsi or Coca-Cola right now, you know what that shit would do to my throat and my stomach? The moment I take that first slurp or sip or gulp, that shit is going to give my body a chemical reaction like no other, where it's going to feel like I'm literally drinking battery acid. That's how my body's going to react to that motherfucker. It's going to be like, whoa, what's this? We don't even know what this shit is anymore, but whatever it is, it's acidy. It's hot. It's bubbly. It's fucking me up. And immediately my body is going to have an allergic reaction to it. Now, I'm not going to vomit if I drink soda, but I'm going to wind up drinking it and my body's going to feel a certain type of way because we haven't had it in so long. And that's the same thing with anything that we've let go of once we become self-aware and we start living a life that's on a righteous path, where we start living a life that has more meaning to it than less meaning to it, where we start living a life that's more dedicated to giving praise to the Most High, to understanding that there's something far greater than what we're experiencing and that we are connected to that great essence, that universal presence that is all encompassing. And all we have to do is wake up the mind and the body to realize that the spirit is limitless. And once we start coming into that truth, the self-awareness starts to raise at a very, very high vibration. And it's like that slogan that I say, get out your own way and allow Yahweh. Or get out your own way and allow the Most High. And if you call the Most High God, then get out your way and allow God to really manifest the things in your life that you should have in your life, that you truly desire on a spiritual level. It's very important to be self-aware. But how do you become self-aware if you're always being bombarded with fucking distractions? With the action of distraction. There's a verse that I have on a song called Stand Up. And I say, follow the source that'll put you on course to be your own boss. Don't get lost in the action of distraction, because those same attractions will close you in like captions, unmasking the truth that's everlasting, warm-heartedly harassing in a hyperactive fashion, because I got a passion for expansion. And when I wrote that verse was liberating. It was my spirit letting me know, like it was speaking to my conscious mind, like there's more to life than this shit that you're living. Because most of us, if not all of us, the way we perceive life, we're only perceiving the reality in which we exist in by what, 5 to 10%? Isn't that crazy? That our perceptual vision, our perceptual mind can only extract 5 to 10% of what actually is happening? That's fucking insane. That means there's 90% of shit that we don't even see every fucking day we wake up in the morning. There's so much more going on around us that we don't see. Matter of fact, my dog sees more of what's actually happening in this realm than I do. If you have a cat, the same thing. The cat can see more than you. And you hear me always talk about how animals are more spiritually connected than we are. But we think it's the other way around. And it's not, people. It is not. The fucking bees and the wasp are fucking more spiritually connected than we are to the Most High. And that's the problem with most people, is the fucking ego. It's the ego makes you think that you're fucking special, that you're so fucking smart, and that you're capable of so many things, but you're so limited in that ego, because the ego will make you think that all of the mundane shit and all of the stuff that people tell you should be doing, or society or government as a whole tells you should be doing, you start to create this reality that you think that's really living. That's what life is all about. And that's why a lot of people that have made a lot of money and then wind up losing it all, they always start crying, because they all say the same thing. They're like, when I lost everything and I was a millionaire, I was a billionaire, I had this and all that. But once I got arrested for tax fraud or whatever the fuck they get locked up for, and then they have shit, they start to realize that all that shit they had meant nothing. That all that really mattered was their wife and their kids and the love that their children and their wife had for them, or vice versa if it's a female. I've seen countless stories like that, where people were fucking wealthy as fuck. You could do whatever you want, and you think this is life. Like, I could do whatever the fuck I want, when I want, how I want. And you think you're the shit. But then you realize that you're fucking empty. You don't have nothing. You just have a lot of illusion. You have a lot of Satan in your life. You have a lot of emptiness. You have a lot of egoically driven bullshit. There's no real essence to what you're experiencing. You're not really experiencing the true essence of not only your life, but the true essence of life, which is the Most High, which is that, that never-ending stream of energy that is very positive. I'll give you another great example. If you ever seen, it's one of my favorite films of all time, The Family Man with Nicolas Cage. One of my favorite. I could watch that movie a gabillion times and never get fucking bored of it. Never be like, damn, I saw this shit already. Every time I see that movie, it touches me. It touches the core to my spirit. I'm going to tell you why. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm going to tell you why I love that movie so much. Nicolas Cage is this hedge fund Wall Street tycoon that works for a major conglomerate company that buys out companies and all that. I mean, the dude knows his shit. He has a fucking ill-ass Ferrari. I mean, he lives in a penthouse. He wakes up in the morning to fucking opera music. That's how a movie starts out, with him dancing after he had sex with a chick that he met at a party. And he's got all these different women at his disposal. I mean, he doesn't have to ask for nothing. Everything is served to him on a blue plate platter. He goes skiing in the Alps. I mean, you name it, this dude can do it at the drop of a dime. And he thought that that's what life was all about. And in the beginning of the movie, his girlfriend that he left behind, they loved each other. And right as he's about to go onto the airplane, now, brother, Kevin Costner wasn't in that film. It was Nicolas Cage and Tia Leone. Right before he gets on the plane, right? He's saying goodbye to her. She feels something in her spirit. And she's like, wait a second. She's like, don't go. He's like, why? I'm going to call you as soon as I land. She's like, I don't know what it is, but this just doesn't feel right. And I feel like if you get on that plane, I'm never going to see you again. That's because she was tapping into the spirit. The spirit was revealing a truth to her that he wasn't in tune with. And he's like, baby, we got a plan. We've talked about this. We good. I'm going to do my internship in London and we're going to make this shit happen. She's like, scratch the plan. Fuck the plan. I choose us. Forget about the plan. It's about me and you. What we have is way more important than anything else. I choose us. Stay here. We'll make it happen. What does he do? Gives her a kiss. She thinks he's going to change his mind. And he's like, don't worry about it. You're worrying too much. I'm going to be just fine. And she starts crying. He gets on the plane. And then that's how the movie starts out. It shows him as this very successful millionaire, big tycoon, top of his game, left his woman behind, never saw her again because he chased the bag. He chased the success. He chased that artificial prestige, that money, that artificial lifestyle of what's considered to be successful here in America and abroad as well. And then I believe it's, damn, what the fuck is his name? The brother's name. But he's like an angel. And he basically says Jack, because the guy's name is Jack in the movie. And he tells him, hey, he goes, oh, I got everything. He goes, well, what do you need, Jack? He goes, oh, I got everything I need. He goes, oh, it's nice to be you. And he's like, he said, listen, just be careful what you asked for. He said, you brought this upon yourself. And basically, the next day he has them have a glimpse, and the glimpse lasts for a long time. And what the glimpse is of what life could have been like. And what happens? He wakes up and he's in a house. The woman that he left, Tia Leone, that plays his wife, I think her name is Jill or whatever the fuck her name is. And, oh, thank you, Brother Richard. I appreciate that. The Family Man trailer. So whoever hasn't seen it, check it out. Look at that trailer. So definitely a great movie. He wakes up in a house with 2 kids. The baby's screaming in his crib. The daughter is jumping on the bed, a cute little, I think she was like 4 or 5 years old. And she's like, let's open the gifts, Dad. The dog jumps on the bed. His wife is laying on his chest. It's the woman that he left behind. And he's like looking around like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, the fuck is this? Can you imagine some shit like that? Where you just wake up to a whole fucking different reality. And now you got a fucking wife or a husband and kids. And you was by yourself making millions of dollars doing whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. And all of a sudden you wake up to this whole new life. And to make a long story short, I'm not going to give you a play-by-play, but the whole theme and moral of the story is that he at first is very resistant towards this lifestyle. He's like complaining like a motherfucker. He's bitching about everything. He even tries to escape and go back to the building that he used to run, where he was the president of this company, only to find out that he's not the president no more. It was the fucking guy that was under him. And they don't even know who he is. So he's bugging out. He's thinking like, this is a big joke. They're playing a joke. He goes back to his old building where he had his penthouse. The freaking doorman doesn't let him in. And it's like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Then he goes back to the house or whatever, and he starts slowly but surely realizing that what he didn't embark on with this woman is what was really what he really wanted in life. He started to realize that the life that he was living was so fake, so like unfulfilling, so lonely. He started to become self-aware of what really fucking mattered. He started, and there's a scene, brothers and sisters, in that movie where he's sitting on the couch watching old film of him and his wife with family and friends. I'm not going to tell you what happened because you got to watch it. But as he's watching it, it's that self-awareness, like, oh shit, this is what the fuck I have. This is what the fuck I left behind. This is what I chose not to be a part of. And he realized that he didn't choose something that was way more meaningful. And then he chased that rich, money fulfilled lifestyle that's really empty. But he became self-aware. And then finally, when the self-awareness had reached its max, is when they brought him right back to the $1 million millionaire lifestyle. And then he has a choice through the freedom of will, which we all have, to make a decision to say, am I going to continue living like this? Or am I going to pursue that which is meaningful? Because now he was self-aware. He realized who the fuck he really is and what really matters in life and what is truly fulfilling in life. And for him, it was being with that woman, those 2 kids and that dog, and having great friendships like he had with Jeremy Piven, whatever his name is, he plays his friend in that. And he's a really good friend. And there's even a scene in there where he's going to cheat on his wife. And his friend is like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Because there's this woman that's been after him for years in this, when he's in this lifestyle. And he starts to figure it out. He's like, wait, what's going on here? He's like, is there something going on between you and I? And she's like, we're going to have a serious conversation about it. He's like, yeah, I like to. And she's like, yeah, like she's telling him all these things that she's been doing for years because she's been feeling him. And then she winds up hitting him with the whammy when she goes, don't worry, Kate. That's his wife's name. Kate don't have to find out. She don't need to know nothing. My husband's going to be gone for the whole entire weekend with the kids. I'm going to be home by myself. Why don't you stop by? And the woman looks good. And he's like, oh, okay. He goes to his friend and he's like, yo, give me this woman's address. And he's like, oh, what's her name is? She's relentless. He's like, she's fucking relentless. But he's like, nah, give me her number. Give me her address. And he's like, wait a second. Are you really going to go see her? Like, the fuck you doing? He's like, well, technically it's not cheating, right? Because he's thinking this is just a glimpse. This ain't even really his life. It's just a glimpse, which technically it is. But his friend looks at him with the utmost disgust and says, there's not a man in fucking, I think they live in New Jersey. He's like, there's not a man in New Jersey that wouldn't give their fucking left nut to be with a woman like Kate. And you're going to throw all of that away? And he gives him this look of like, I can't even look at you, and just walks away. That's a real friend. Because if he was a piece of shit friend, he would have been like, yo, here's the address. And that's what this guy Jack had in his life. And that's what made him become so fucking self-aware of what really matters in life opposed to what doesn't, which is this fucking being rich and driving fucking Ferraris and Lamborghinis and sleeping with multiple women and going to the biggest parties and traveling around the world. And all he really wanted to do was get back to having that lifestyle where he lives in New Jersey in a house where he's got to shovel his own snow, pick up his dog shit, and be around his daughter and his little baby boy and his wife. He became self-aware. And then he had to use the freedom of will at the end of the movie to choose. And he came right back to the point. Are you going to choose? Is he going to choose this life, or does he choose us? Meaning choosing what he can have with Tia Leone, who plays the woman who was his wife or his girlfriend or whatever. He said, I choose us. And that's what it's all about. It's like sometimes we think we're living a life that is so meaningful. We really think we are, but we're really living an empty lifestyle. But it's not until we really spend time with ourselves and we really pay heed to the messages that we being given to really understand what matters in life. And that's when we start to become aware. And the more, and I'm going to say it again, the more you get to know yourself, the more you become self-aware, the more you become closer and closer to being one with the Most High. Because the Most High is within all of us. But it's our responsibility to be self-aware of what that essence is, what that light is. That's why I say don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is within you. Always has been, always will be. But you know how hard? That's not an easy thing to know. That's not an easy thing to discover, to know that the light is within you. That shit is a process, a never-ending one, but you can get better and better at it with time. But some people in this world don't even want to take a second to become self-aware, to really know who and what they are. And who and what we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And with that being said, all praise to the Most High. Let's take a break. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters in the chat room. And if you haven't checked that movie out that I'm talking about, Brother Richard has put a clip in there from the trailer. Click on that link. It's called The Family Man. It came out in the late 90s. Look it up on Google. It's with Nicolas Cage and Tia Leone. It's one of the best movies, one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. There's so much great substance in that film. And it's funny. And it's good. It's good to watch. It's a good film to watch with your spiritual eyes. Don't just watch it for fucking entertainment purposes, because you're going to lose the whole entire concept and theme and moral of the story. But if you can watch it with your spiritual eyes, and if you could watch it with your husband or your wife, your boyfriend or girlfriend, your significant other, You know, if you could watch it with a friend you truly care about, whatever the case is, watch that movie. I'm telling you, it's going to bring a tear to your eye, certain scenes, if you watch it with spiritual eyes, because it's going to affect you emotionally, because there's a lot of great substance in that film. And Nicolas Cage he played a great role. He did a great job as an actor in that film. And so did Tia Leone. So definitely check it out. We're going to be right back. This is episode 3 of season 4, which is Unconditional Salvation. This is self-awareness. And like the wolf, I'm not afraid of being a lone wolf. I choose to go solo, honor my instincts, and follow the beat of my own heart, people. Follow the beat of your own heart. Get closer to the Most High. Get to know yourself. Become more self-aware. And disengage and separate yourself from the status quo society. Because the status quo society we live in, it ain't shit. It's just a big, big illusion.
Nothing like this. Stage Screen Radio.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
You ain't gonna never know nothing about me.
Listen, I ain't running any more of these 3-a-days, okay?
Well, what I got to say you really don't want to hear, because honesty ain't too high up on your people priority list, right?
Honesty? You want honesty? All right, honestly, I think you're nothing. Nothing but a pure waste of God-given talent. You don't listen to nobody, man. Not even Doc or Boone. Shiver push on the line every time, man. You blow right past them. Push them. Pull them, do something. You can't run over everybody in this league. And every time you do, you leave one of your teammates hanging out to dry. Me in particular.
Why should I give a hoot about you, huh? Or anybody else out there? You want to talk about a waste, you the captain, right?
Right.
Captain's supposed to be the leader, right?
Right.
You got a job?
I have a
you
job.
You been doing your job?
I've been doing my job.
Then why don't you tell your white buddies to block for Rev better? Because they have not blocked for him worth a plug nickel, and you know it. Nobody plays, yourself included. I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team? No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look out for myself, and I'm going to get mine.
See, man, that's the worst attitude I ever heard.
Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership.
Yeah. Oxakai. Or take one. It was only a mad time for this to happen. We about to hit you some bars to resonate with your soul. Bar Smiths. Let's go. Let me talk my shit. American dream is nothing more but a mirage to keep you enslaved, controlled by the synagogues. They gave us a white man with blue eyes, called him God. Malcolm X started to learn before he sabotaged the truth that Muhammad Elijah was a fraud. The whole Islam nation, nothing but facade. You industry niggas is nothing but some cheap rods. Riding balls of Satan, giving his dick a massage. America's Babylon, hidden in camouflage. Brotherhood recruitment and Masonic lodge. Triple scoops of the cold truth, that's how them dies. Taking shots that even Neil can't dodge. Land of the eagle, robbing you for your morals, promoting terror and evil. Heavily surveillance that every camera can see. GMO processing everything that defeats you. Wicked ways of the world is here to mislead you.
Thank God I'm alive. This world's so empty, I need you with me everywhere I go. I'm fighting day by day and night. Hope you can spare my soul.
There is no world trade, now the world trades in pain. Is this an accident? It's more simple than strange, we trapped in it. Perhaps a tragic tactic to form the makes this the sanction. Internet interactions, following your bad habits. No matter how much you making, they always got their eye on it. It's evident the government don't want a peasant resident become activist artists who owns business or residence. Cause sooner or later, we're residing right next to them, controlling your next of kin, teaching them the world of sin. They only learn the worst of it, every kid equipped with barcodes and biochips. Slowly we accepting it, pretending it's benefiting. But I didn't wanna know what you be heading and what you're getting and selling. Cause in Armageddon, Big Brother is overprotected. So you always say yes to him, he wants to be respected. When our service has expired, he'll get tired and we all be irrelevant.
Thank God I'm alive.
surface he's grinding, but deep inside he's crying, trying to keep his eyes on the prize to keep them aside, smiling. All stacked against him, he leans on Yada, not fall to violence. And when he call on Yaya, responds with such flawless timing. His environment's filled with zombies, it's not the brightest. Finding ways to escape this place, he gets lost with rhyming. Using his gift to uplift, but also constant reminder that somewhere someone needs his songs to give all praise to Yahweh.
Don't worry, just don't worry. Yahweh, then Yahweh's gonna bring us home.
Ayy, got the heart of a lion, armor all on his body. This shoot's the hardest thing ever, but still he costs the mileage. Deep in the trenches where wickedness prospers all the time. It's like the good gets punished just for doing what is smart and righteous. As the stars are aligning, Yahweh's calling his finest. All united, not divided. Tough road, but I think I'm alive.
Think I'm alive. This world's so empty, I need you with me everywhere I go. I'm fighting day by day and night. Hope you can spare my soul.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
Yo, let me tell you how the story go. Swear to God, man, it be so historical. Seen the aura in the oracle. She was feeling on my stomach, talking about I'm the one with the abnormal flow. What the sign in your horoscope? A Virgo with extra turbo on fire. Watch me inferno, get burned, ho. Motherfucker nigga wanna come and get in my business. And when it's me chillin' on the beach like Venice or Daytona, they go cray, cause my skin so Crayola. Flow so low like Noah's Ark. Never in the back like Rosa Parks. Showing this love with a broken heart. I know deep down you know it's art. Don't give a damn, we just damage. Build it up, then enhance it. Hop in the van, then we vanish. Watch a UFO landing. When I hop in that, hold my knob, it's gon' fit. The way I play is so demanding. Swing through your Milky Way. Hopscotch on your planet. Don't give a damn, we just damage. Build it up, then enhance it. Hop in the van, then we vanish. Watch a UFO landing. When I hop in that, hold my knob, it's gon' fit. The way I play is so demanding. Swing through your Milky Way. Hopscotch on your planet. Slow it down for my people. Are you good or you evil? Are you wolf or you sheeple? Or the farmer looking through the peephole? Too shallow? No, that was deep, bro. Well then, get it started. I be eating, I be starving. The way I grind be so gnarly. I can hear these haters talking. I don't have to beg your pardon. Wicked images I bury it. Same Michael on a chariot. Rough life, better cherish it. Lack the knowledge and you perishing. Keep it real with your tribe. Everywhere I go, we survive. Like the dog star, I'm serious. Mother Nature on a period. I see the sun getting brighter. Super Saiyan through your hydro collider. But what is your concern with Cerdo? But you never felt this from a Virgo. On fires, Dante's Inferno. She want me to put my worm in a wormhole. This cute chick from Pleiades. She look like Sade from the 80s. In her galaxy, I get so groovy. Why your universe feel like a movie? She want me to fill up on her. Don't have to take my shot, she gripping the toolie. Don't give a damn, we just damage. Build it up, then enhance it. Hop in the van, then we vanish. Watch a UFO landing. When I hop in that, hold my knob, it's gon' fit. The way I play is so demanding. Swing through your Milky Way. Hopscotch on your planet. Don't give a damn, we just damage. Build it up, then enhance it. Hop in the van, then we vanish. Watch a UFO landing. When I hop in that, hold my knob, it's gon' fit. The way I play is so demanding. Swing through your Milky Way. Hopscotch on your planet.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. Make me a nightmare for people like you.
Welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays.
I've been keeping the faith, winning the race, trying to envision the goal. I've been keeping the pace, look in my face, you can see on my soul. I've been staying the course, racing with force, keeping my eyes on the road. Nail my foot to the gas, you know what I want.
What's that?
I want it to speaking and reading and teaching, we follow them scriptures. Do you feel us? And it's nothing. Why you ducking and dodging them scriptures? He be with us and we love it. Keep the faith cause I love him a lot. Hope my favor be double like lots. Hope I rise till I conquer the top. Said you seen ya, then you seen my pops. Used to wanna do everything my way, because my way was the right way. Then I put away things that were childish. Now it's Yahweh or the highway. Now walking in light with no blips, standing out like a lunar eclipse. Grab his hand and I tighten my grip. Walking in faith, ensure I don't slip.
Make sure I don't slip by peeping the signs. The day of the Lord is so deep in the night. Hand on my sword cause the kingdom is nigh. The crown is my goal and it keeps me alive. Can't ever let it out my sight. I protect to the death every ounce of fight. Demons pushing and pushing with all their might. But I got in Yah's armor like a knight.
I've been keeping the faith, winning the race, trying to envision the goal. I've been keeping the pace, look in my face, you can see Yah in my soul. I've been staying the course, racing with force, keeping my eyes on the road. Nail my foot to the gas, you know what I want.
What's that?
I want it tenfold. Man, I love when the spirit be working, cause it shows me when they lurking. Now I step on the neck of the serpent, just to show him I can hurt him. And I'm keeping that boot on his neck, keeping faith and actions in check. I study, I walk and I rap. Walking with Yah, he guide my steps. And I'm running with Yahweh, been Yahweh. So I wave like chow babe. Pull up in the Father's driveway, then I wave like howdy. I travel the road, I'm here. My sweat, my blood, my tears. They vanished, they all disappeared. I conquered them all, I conquered my fears.
I'm grinding for tenfold. Keep his word in your faith, it's simple. Day to day, it's a battle, difficult. Your Yahweh was never sinful. Every day I'm just trying to do right. I ain't one that the world's gonna like. A lot's gonna say, oh, he's boring. Small price for a wonderful life.
I've been keeping the faith, winning the race, trying to envision the goal. I've been keeping the pace, look in my face, you can see Yah in my soul. I've been staying the course, racing with force, keeping my eyes on the road. Nail my foot to the gas, you know what I want.
What's that?
I want it tenfold.
But that which ye already have, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall it be broken to shivers. Even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Tenfold, baby.
All praise, Yahweh, Yahweh, tenfold, tenfold.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
Shout outs to the Boogie Down Bronx. Shout outs to Lou Mora. Shout outs to my brother Lincoln. Shout outs to the Castle Hill, Fort Road, Parkchester, Dragsneck. Let's go.
It all goes left before it goes right, but that's life, so you know how it goes, right? Tell you I done been through the mud and the dark nights. Always had a flow, but I've been through the bar fights. Not a big dog, but I got a big bite. Always been fly, I've been known to take flight. Learned all my lessons, never make mistakes twice. Never dim my shine, cause I've always been bright. Always been nice with the hand, so I know how to break a nigga down. Just in case a nigga come around, I'm ready. Once you get a nigga mental in that zone, I'm deadly. That's why I prefer to be left alone. You can't really tame a beast that is meant to roam feast. As long as my heart beats like a metronome. Graduated from the streets with a cap and gown. Even I know what goes up will come crashing down. Down, down, it all comes. Down, 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 it all comes. Down, 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 it goes all the way. It goes all the way. It goes all the way. Crashing down, crashing down.
Have you hated or ever been hated on? Watch how I debate this while I go and play the song. Am I wrong or am I right? While I'm writing, see it was written. Ha, I knock him out like I was Tyson. Ain't no tie, son, I've been down, down. See, I've been spitting for a minute. I am different, I'm the one. They say I'm gifted. I just want the big money to go and match the lyrics. Ha, and then you crash, burn, feeling like life cheated you from your last turn. Feeling like I was a bad sperm from the ex, bugging with the heat, yeah, mash burn. They notice the way I talk. I think they really hate me cause they know I'm from New York. I adolescent and caught. I swear I made it a sport. A Bronx nigga for sure. Spiraling down, I fuck out of
down, down, it all comes. Down, 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 it all comes. Down, 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 it goes all the way. It goes all the way. It goes all the way. Crashing down, crashing down.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
New Zealand, Nepal, Norway, South Africa, Spain, Saudi Arabia, Germany. Shout outs to Belgium, Argentina, Mexico, United Kingdom, Costa Rica, India. Shout outs to Canada. Shout outs to brother Solomon and sister Sophia. Shout outs to all the brothers and sisters in the United States of America. Shout outs to New Jersey, Florida, Illinois, Texas, California, Louisiana, Georgia, Nevada, New York, North Carolina, Virginia, Colorado, Arizona, Washington, Alabama, Michigan, South Carolina, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Arkansas, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Maryland, Ohio, Delaware, Indiana, Kentucky, and everybody Here's a banger y'all haven't heard in a while. From the Spirit. It's all about self-awareness. Shout outs to brother Oxakai. If you haven't checked it out, check out the Oxakai podcast and the Righteous Rap Academy. Let's go.
built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga dog.
How you doing?
To that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
When the light has faded and darkness is abroad, the light is only dim because the darkness teaches us lessons that need to be learned in order for one to move forward. Embrace the darkness, for the darkness is your friend. So there is no end. It's only an illusion to what has been. Follow the light and let the spirit embark on a flight to a destination unknown, but to a place where love is the building blocks that call this place home. We are always accompanied on this journey, but still feel alone. It is never the same journey or experience that is ever shown. It is your imagination that awakens the passion that will weather the storm, because it is the pure compassion in the soul that is vigorous and strong. We're one with eternity, so let's be connected to the positive stream that allows us to fulfill our infinite destiny, most definitely. Let's strive to be the best people we can be with a power that is humanly new to see. So mistaken dismay can lead us astray, so let us stay, for it is our free will that allows us to make a choice. So I choose Yahweh with no delay.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
I done made mistakes on purpose to divide the word from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, soul searching, networking and murking. Anytime think I drop my curtain, with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lengthy service. Commit to my nourish until I perish.
Yahweh's gonna save the awakened, then take him to an ageless haven. Patient, I can't stray away, gotta keep obliterating the pavement. Still remember that day on the phone, Mark, he said, yo, don't you take your foot off the gas. Always something to give y'all praises.
We're in a dark oasis, for countless cases, a peak of faithless. I'ma need the patience, defeat temptations. We seek his graces for true salvation. We keep on praising, we go on blazing these revelations. Cease to hate, no altercations. Good vibrations, we back to basics to build foundations. Y'all defeated Satan. I done made mistakes on purpose to divide the word from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, soul searching, networking and murking. Anytime think I drop my curtain, with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish. People pursuing acts of violence, their persistent act of defiance, freely forming a righteous alliance, truly against the science appliance. On a mission with wisdom and guidance, steady defeating the ignorant science, sealing convicted and non-compliant. Spiritual wars, they're moving
Let's
silence.
talk about what matters. Drop the vanity. Folks out here losing their sanity. Kids popping off, lost in fantasies. People grieving over loss of family. The evil that be with the power, turning the people with credence to cowards, seeking to seize believers with bows. Man, even Stevie can see that it's foul.
I'd have made mistakes on purpose to divide the worth from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is personal person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, so searching, networking and murking. Anytime to drop my curtain with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish.
Depression gone with every song. Music led by another echelon.
To get you strong, keep pressing on long after we dead and gone.
From dusk till dawn, we're righteously armed with spiritual lessons from Yah.
We where we belong, we keeping on. The righteous with third of Zion.
Records embellished with heavenly eloquence.
Elohim's presence presently evident.
Intricate elements, infinite intelligence.
Spiritual specimens lyrically resonant.
The gift was inheritance, smaller percentages.
Carefully measured and meant to be shared.
With the message projected, cemented, embedded.
The sensible question is, what will you get from it? I made mistakes on purpose to divide the worth from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is personal person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, so searching, networking and murking. Anytime to drop my curtain with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish.
And we are back. And you're tuned into season 4, episode 3, self-awareness. And the whole entire theme of the network of awareness is about self-awareness, because without it, how will you get to know who you truly are, opposed to what somebody told you you are, or told you what you should be doing and how you should be living? The only entity, in my opinion, that you should care about when it comes to how you're living is what the Most High thinks of you, because the Most High is our creator. It is that which in the image that we were created in. So the only thing that we need to be concerned about when we are concerned about how we're living is how the Most High sees how we're living. We should be concerned only with that. Self-awareness is essential to life. Always has been, always will be. And it's the very self-awareness that's going to keep you safe in these dark times that we live in these days of uncertainty where everything is uncertain, meaning that we don't know what's going to happen here. We just know that it's fucked up and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. But you know what I'm certain of? I'm certain of the Most High. I'm certain that the Most High knows all, and that the Most High will take care of all of the trash, of all of the demonic energy that roams here. All of the wickedness will have its time for recompensation, will have its time to answer. They will have to answer for all of their wickedness, for all of the misdeeds, for all of that leading astray energy. All these people out here that are leading people astray, they will have their time. And it's only our responsibility to be as self-aware as possible, because our lives are very short. Even if you live 100 years, that's a short period of time in a span of infinite existence. So I think it's our responsibility to make the most of what we have here when it comes to our spirituality, that we can only be aware of by being self-aware. by understanding truly who and what we really are, opposed to what we are constantly being told what we are. We're told that here in America, it's about chasing the American dream, achieving the American dream. Get the big house with the white picket fence and the 2-car garage, and have enough money saved up and have money invested so your kids could go to college, you know? Get the college degree. Get a good job. The fuck is a good job? Can somebody explain to me what a good job is? Oh, I'm making good money. What the fuck does that mean? Good money. How can you be making good money when money is fucking evil? To the core of it. Now, granted, money is a form of energy. But when I say it's evil in the way it's perceived. It's meant to bind you. It's meant to hold you down. It's meant to keep you down. It's meant to keep you subservient to something that doesn't even fucking exist. That's why when David Icke said, I feel that if we're so much in debt, all we need to do is fill up a bunch of jars with air and pay it back to the central banking system and say, here, we're just giving you back what the fuck you gave us. Air, nothing. It's all based on perception. I want to say this before I go. If you don't know who and what you truly are, what are you doing with the time that you have? What are you really doing? Because there's one thing that if you're somebody out there that's taking care of business and your family and, you know, you're responsible with your life, I salute you. But if you don't know who you are, then everything you're doing, it has no meaning to it. It really, you're just existing. You're just waiting to die. You're not really living. Because to truly be living is to live with the self-awareness and the understanding and the unconditional love for the very essence that created you to be in existence in the first place. And that is the Most High. It's that which is and always will be and will continue to be forever and ever and ever. Because there is no time. We live in an infinite universe where there is no time. We live amongst a vast multitude of galaxies upon galaxies and galaxies. And we're just a microcosm within this infinite space. But if we can just become more self-aware of who we are, what will we be capable of? You know, there's some of you in this chat room that you're starting to gravitate with people of like minds. And that's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence at all. The Most High makes no mistakes. If you're starting to finally feel like it's fun and fulfilling to be part of a group of like-minded or really like-spirited people, then it's meant to be. There's no reason to question it because all it means is that you are working on your self-awareness as we should be. We should become more self-aware so we know what we truly want in our life. And that way, when we truly know what we want in our lives, we can ask the Most High for it, and the Most High is going to give it to us because the universe is going to give you what you put out in your righteous, positive, thoughtful intentions. I know shit. I know it's happening for me. Big time. The Most High is gracing me with favor upon favor. And no, there's going to be, there's going to be these dark forces that try to throw you off your path. And like I always say, the righteous path is a tightrope where you have to maintain balance all the time. And it's going to put a lot of strain on every single muscle and fiber to the very core of your body. And as you're going on this righteous tightrope, there's people throwing shit. They're throwing garbage cans. They're throwing shit at you. They're throwing rocks. They're throwing slurs. They're throwing all type of derogatory comments to you. They're throwing, stuff at you that can make you feel doubtful and create some anxiety. And you just have to stay on that rope and maintain balance because there is no net. And they know that. So they know if they can just get you to fall off that rope, then it's a wrap. They succeeded. Don't give them the opportunity to succeed because you are in control of your own thoughts, and the Most High created us to have the freedom of will in these physical bodies that our spirits are contained in. So if we have the freedom of will to choose, then we are truly in control of what we do with the life that we've been given and this opportunity. So why not have the discipline to maintain balance and understand that you are walking this rope for a reason? It's not for everybody, because not everybody's willing to take the risk of walking on the righteous tightrope, because number one, they don't have the strength to maintain the fucking balance in the first place. And number two, they're too fearful of falling, and they're too fearful of taking that risk, but not you. Why? Because you're self-aware. And if you're self-aware, the more self-aware you become, the more you become prepared for all of the calamities that are coming for 2/3 of this population. So stay on your righteous tightrope and walk with great balance and ease, and walk patiently, step by step on that rope. There ain't no rush, but be very self-aware and be prepared. Because one thing I've realized is that life is worth caring about when you got the Most High in it. And some people think that it's harder when you commit yourself to giving praise to the Most High. And I say yes, but to a certain degree, I say no, because I think life becomes a little easier when you have that peace within you that most people don't have. And that's why they're steadily staying stressed and always looking for something externally to fill the void. You don't have any void because you have the Most High, and the self-awareness is always going to keep you on that path to understand that the journey is long, but it is fulfilling. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, I hope that this podcast episode on self-awareness has given you some great substance. Check out the movie The Family Man if you haven't already. And when you live in the present, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning. Don't get it twisted. So don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because you're never going to find it. But you know where you'll find it? When you become self-aware and realize that the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. This is Or the Informationalist saying peace, love, and light, and Barakadah, and forever favors.